So, right now, it's an honor for me to introduce our next presenter. You know, I've grown more fond of being sent to the principal's office. I mean, I've never thought I'd actually enjoy going to the principal's office, honestly. Every meeting and every interaction I've ever had with our head of school has been a privilege. I've never met another person with a bigger heart and dedication to the lives of my children than Dina. Besides being an educator, for over 25 years, a PhD, and being involved with New Horizons since the beginning, she's an amazing parent and a beautiful human being. Can you please give Dr. Dina Eletreby a warm welcome?
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Welcome. Dear guests, families, alumni, friends, I really am honored to have you all here tonight celebrating New Horizons' success in raising scholars since 2001. For 14 years, the school has been a second home to its students, to its alumni, and its families. And within its campus, students have learned well beyond the necessary skills found in any school, beyond the math, the science, the social studies, and the language arts. These are assumed, they are de facto. And those who teach at the school know that what's considered the bar is just the foundation in terms of New Horizon. And on top of this foundation, we also have a beautiful faith and belief system that professes excellence in every endeavor and love and compassion to others. In order to support the belief system, we're teaching them additional skills, the skills related to memorizing the Quran, learning Arabic as a second language, and learning Islamic studies as well. And then to connect the students even further with their hearts, with their bodies, and with their souls, we're also teaching them music, visual and performing arts. We have education in PE, physical education, as well as in music. And earlier this evening, you saw this great combination from the Juz Amma, the students who were reciting. Sheikh Ibrahim does not tell them just to memorize. He really teaches them to recite the Quran beautifully. And so you see, in addition to the technique of the recitation, there's also this beautification, this sense of art. Ultimately, New Horizon is really setting the stage to create the next generation of Renaissance men and women. Today, there seems to be a void in this concept of a Renaissance human being, someone who has knowledge not just in the science, but also in the arts and other areas, the humanities. And we don't have to look far in terms of looking at mentors. And in fact, one mentor who has passed, Dr. Meher Hathout, Allah yarhamu, anyone who knew him as somebody who not only was a physician, he was also a religious scholar. He was also somebody who wrote, so he was a writer, he was a poet, a presenter. And because he was a founder of the Islamic Center, our parent organization, of course, I felt that it would be appropriate to mention him in this evening. So this combination of arts and science is a marker of the Islamic influence that actually brought Europe out of the Dark Ages. And the purpose of education at the time was to create a universal human being who, combined with intellectual and physical excellence, was capable of really functioning successfully in any setting. And then we see examples, right? We see Leonardo da Vinci, for example, combining the beauty of nature and the science of anatomy in his Vitruvian Man, or the combination of religion and aesthetics in the Last Supper. And even in architecture, all of a sudden this concept of mathematics added to the design. And so you have the engineering of domes, those beautiful domes that became representative of Islamic architecture and architecture of the time. And then with these influences, you have the underlining commonality of this sense of pursuit of excellence. And in fact, as they approached perfection and beauty, in a way, it was their way of worshiping God. So Islam pushed its believers to question and the existing norms and to pursue knowledge, and then to do things so excellently that it approximates and nears them closer and closer to God. The notion of doing something well as a form of worship, as a way to glorify God and to get close to Him, was at its peak during the golden age of Islam. And I believe that a new golden age needs to come about now. I believe that it will when I see our alumni and our students. New Horizon is now wrapping up its 14th year of operation. So about 16 years ago, before New Horizon was even really a building, there were some community members who gathered together. They were the founders. They were the ones who envisioned the dream of the school, and people opened their homes. In fact, one home in particular was the Abdel Basit home, where I remember Dr. Gasser Hathout was speaking, and Gasser that time asked the audience, he said, "What do you wish for your children?" And the audience responded. They talked about their reflections. They said, "Well, I want my child to have a fulfilling career. I want them to be happy. I want them to have a loving spouse, to be financially secure and successful." And he said, all of these things are good. These things are things that you would want for your children. But then he continued and he said, if you're a true believer, if you're a mu'min, then you know that this world is fleeting and the hereafter is eternal. So the first thing a mu'min would want for their child is to attain heaven, to please God, and to do righteousness, and to attain heaven, inshallah. So the promise of New Horizon was really that our school would help support that endeavor, help support the families by fulfilling this concept of an American Muslim identity, so that students can be sure of themselves and at the same time be humble enough to know that whatever they achieve, they have a responsibility to share with others, to make the world a better place. Tonight is dedicated to our alumni and to their families. They are the realization of the community's hopes and efforts. Their families trusted New Horizon to fulfill its promise in bringing up intelligent, dynamic, and compassionate members of our community. You will see this over and over and over again tonight. The combination of that Renaissance, universal human being, combination of science and humanity, not just through the works of our keynote speaker, Soraya Azawi, but also through other alumni that will be featured, through Razan Douela, through the combination, I don't know if many of you noticed the macaroons that are being sold, but Sarah Bukai, who's an alumni from class of 2007, so she combined her sense of politics, humanity, and culinary arts to raise awareness and raise funds for the plight of Syria by selling those macaroons and giving those proceeds to the humanitarian efforts there. You'll see on stage the talents of Walid Esedi, who not only is pursuing electrical engineering as a career, but is a talented and accomplished musician. If I talk to you about the Cooks, the Abdulatis, the Badawis, the Malis, these are kids who on their weekends, they are giving of their time to give to Sabil al-Ahsan, a nonprofit that is giving basically social supports to the community, those who are most disenfranchised, people who don't have food, don't have care, don't have shelter. And then again, you'll look on the video, those like Hannah Al-Hassan, Sarah Al-Tuhi, Omar Uzgur, and others who are currently in universities, and you'll see the impact of New Horizon through their lens. And as you watch the video, look at our young students, and in a blink, inshallah, they too will be attending universities throughout the country. And if you are blessed, as I am, to see these young children grow into these incredibly articulate, intelligent, and compassionate young adults, then you will know that there's no better place to invest your time and your money. Whether you're a parent making an investment by sacrificing other comforts to enroll your child in the school, whether you're a grandparent who understands this concept of legacy building and giving to the future, whether you're a community member who wants to support an Islamic institution that makes you proud as a model of excellence and can be accessed by Muslims and non-Muslims and other faith traditions, New Horizon is worthy of your investment, and it aspires to bring about another renaissance here in the heart of Orange County and radiating its light in ripples throughout the country and someday throughout the world, inshallah. Thank you so much.